Our budget to renovate this mansion was about $350,000. We're currently sitting right under $500,000, $500,000, which is more than I even paid for this house. So thankfully, throughout the process, we kind of saw the writing on the wall and knew that we were inching further and further over budget. So there are a few things that we're doing this week in order to offset some of those costs, but we definitely don't want to sacrifice quality because the house is so magnificent that it needs to have nice updated features, but we just cannot continue to pour money into this thing in places where you're just not really going to see a return. So this week in this video, you're going to see me talk about some of the places where we're choosing to choose a different product, or some of the reasons why we're actually spending more money in areas, because I think the return on investment in those areas is going to be better whenever we go to sell. But really, we're just being conscientious as possible right now to spend our money in the right spots where the return is actually going to be there, because we just cannot continue to pour money into this thing if there's not going to be a return. We have a kitchen, or at least kitchen cabinets, which is a start. That means we're getting toward the end. And the guys were here all this weekend working on these cabinets. These are custom cabinets that were specifically made to fit this space. Just with a house of this size and this nature, we couldn't do just like a prefabricated everyday cabinet that you get from, one of the big box stores. We had to actually hand make them. Some of them are going to be stained, some are going to be painted, but ultimately it's going to be beautiful. Let me show you around. So the kitchen is pretty much a U shape. It goes like this, and then it has the island right here in the middle. So kind of the centerpiece right here. And the island is going to have a countertop. It's about 2 feet island. It's gonna have a countertop that actually extends over another 2 feet. And then it has these beautiful custom wooden legs that it will have. So it'll provide some more seating in the kitchen and also just make it a nice centerpiece for it as well. Most of this kitchen is symmetrical, so it's just pleasing. I just like symmetry and things. So one of the reasons why we added these 2 windows, well, this window right here was already here, but that window over there was all the way to the ground, kind of like those windows. So to give this kitchen some symmetry, we made both of the windows the same. We made that one the same size. The range hood is going to go right here in the middle. So that's going to kind of be the first thing that you see whenever you walk in. Boom, island, range hood, tons of natural light, and then kitchen cabinets that go all the way to the ceiling, because again, we want to elevate the space, and it's going to have crown molding around it. So that'll just kind of cap it off. Okay, so this kitchen was a big deal, not just because when you see the kitchen come together, you can see actually a lot of progress happening in the house, but because we got the kitchen cabinets installed this past weekend, we're able to have the countertop company come out and measure and actually get the template for the countertops. But obviously you can't do the countertops until you do the cabinets. You can't do the backsplash until you do the countertops, until you do the cabinets. So everything is just sequential whenever you're renovating a house. And good news is about a month ago, we scheduled for the countertop guys to come today. They're coming today, I hope, and they're gonna measure. Now, from the time that they template to the time that they can actually install the product is about 2 weeks. And thankfully, the countertop company is doing the backsplash as well. So it's going to be beautiful. It's just going to extend up the back wall with the backsplash. So I'm excited to meet them here. We'll have the sink here, of course, right in front of the window. Right next to it, we'll have the range, right below the range hood, of course, you know, with a pot filler as well. Okay, gotta fill those pots. We've got a place up here to keep pots and pans. I guess maybe not pots, but pans. You probably couldn't fit pots. There's the place for the pots right down here in this drawer. And then a big fridge right here. And this fridge will be a panel-ready refrigerator. So that means that the cabinet faces that we'll put on will actually be cabinets, the same look as the cabinets. So it'll blend in and give it a cohesive look there. And that's just beautiful. And honestly, the same thing's going to be going for the dishwasher as well. That will be panel-ready. And let me show you one of my favorite parts of this kitchen. You know how in the corners, usually you have some dead space back here? Like you can't really put anything back there, or if you do, you had to like tuck it back in there and you're just never gonna see it again. Not anymore. This isn't an ad for this product. I don't know what it's called, but it's genius. Okay. You just pull this and it pulls the other shelf from the dead space over. Is that brilliant? Some engineer got paid a lot of money for that, I'm sure. Look at that. You just play with this all day. This is one of the beautiful fireplaces in this house. This one's in the living room. And as you can see, she's a little naked right now. And that's because in order to put the new marble on, we had to take this mantle off, which actually came off in one piece, thankfully, because it's so ornate and intricate that having to remake it would be quite a task. So anyways, we took it all off so that we could put some new Carrara marble down. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. In doing the hardwood in here, we had to use all the hardwood that we purchased originally for the house in the kitchen, which means that we didn't quite have enough for the dining room and the rest of the living room and the master. So we had to order some more, and that's not gonna be here until Tuesday, but for progress to continue happening, we're still gonna continue to trim everything out and then just leave room so that whenever the floor comes in, we can install it under the base. And we can do the doors and the windows trim out as well. We're here in the master bathroom, and today and this week what we're working on is getting it prepped and started on tiles. So this membrane down here is actually going to serve as the substrate where we put the heated flooring wiring. So the heated flooring wires are going to go through here every couple inches in a zigzag, and then it's also going to go over there in the master shower, because I know that the shower is already hot. But why don't your feet just be hot too? I think it'll be awesome. We'll also get in the wall and the shower ready to start the tile. It's all gonna be beautiful. Check it out. We laid this heated flooring cable all through here, and we laid it about 2 spaces apart because we didn't want them to be too close. If they're too close, it could burn up, and then we'd actually have to like redo all of the tile and pop it all off because you can't just splice it together. So it looks great. We're gonna start next week with all the tile on this floor and then all the tile in the bathroom, on the shower. And once those 2 items are in, it's gonna really start coming together. As we get everything prepped for tile in here, we need to make sure that we have a really sturdy backing for the glass doors, because they're solid glass, so they're heavy. And so we had to cut out a little bit of the sheetrock right here in order to add a stud so that whenever we hang the doors, it's hanging on something solid. So all that prep work is going in to make sure that we don't have to go back and redo things. Additionally, in this master, we've got this pocket door. This is the closet over here right off the master bath. Look at that. like butter. Still have to paint the doors and everything, but at least the pocket door's framed in now. Now we need to paint. So, easiest way to do that, spray it. That way you get an even coat and you get the best coverage. But there's so many little trim pieces that I didn't know that you have to install, specifically around like windows. Let me just show this to you. Around this window, okay? Because we didn't do just like a basic trim, you have a piece right here. 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 A piece right here. A piece right here. A piece right here. Inside of here. And up here. All the way around. Okay, so that's a lot of measuring and cutting and meticulous work that when it all gets installed, as you can see, it's beautiful. But it just takes time. And then you have to caulk, you know, every individual seam, and then you can come through and spray it. And then whenever you spray it, that's when the big change happens. So that's what we're working on today. And then the last thing that we could do is the walls. So the ceilings are painted, all the trim work will be painted, and then the walls. And once you do the walls, shoot, we're almost done. We have lights. We've got the ceiling fans that have gone in up here, and now we have the can lights going in. A lot of the ceilings, well, all the ceilings upstairs are painted, and then a lot of the walls have a first coat on them. And the woodwork's been sprayed. So with all that, we're down to start the electrical fixtures to be hung. Specifically today, like some ceiling fans getting installed, and then some of the vanity lights up here. From there, we're working on hanging doors, and the doors are solid core doors. So not hollow, they're solid all the way through. So it just provides extra rigidity and strength to the door.
Yeah, take that. Buckets.
Well, there you have it. That's this week's progress here at the Mansion Flip. As you saw, we got a little bit of everything going on, so tons of progress being made. Excited for next week. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe, comment, hit that bell to stay up to date with all of our content coming your way. Back to work.